Hey everyone, I'm Bibi, and today I'm going to be continuing my series of cartoon characters Pokemon teams. Today we're going to be talking about one of the new Netflix shows, She-Ra. Okay, when I say new, I mean it came out pretty recently, but it recently had its season finale. So sad. No, really though, it was one of the most amazing finales I've ever seen. But I'm not going to spoil why. But anyway, the characters in this show are all LGBT, and it makes me happy seeing that. So, I wanted to give them Pokemon teams because, you know, I did that with Steven Universe, another LGBT-friendly show. So, let's do it with She-Ra this time. Obviously, I'll do other cartoons. I have some cartoons in mind, but I just wanted to do this one really badly. So, let's get into it. Of course, we're going to start with She-Ra herself. I think she would have Galarian Rapidash because, you know, she already has an Alicorn, and they look pretty similar, except Swiftwind's better. Also, I have them written down here. I would also give her Aegislash because, you know, she has the sword that makes her She-Ra. And Aegislash is basically the sword. And then lastly, I would give her Mega Gardevoir because I give her regular Gardevoir, but I think the Mega is more suited for her because, like, it's basically what she does is basically Mega Evolution anyway, a temporarily, like, upgrade to yourself for battle. So it's basically the same thing. So I think Mega Gardevoir would be perfect for She-Ra. Obviously, when she's a Dora, it'd be regular Gardevoir, but you know, it works out either way. Also, I just realized she can turn her sword into a shield, so Aegislash is perfect, because it can turn from a sword to a shield, like, when it uses an attack move or a shield move. So that works out fine. So yeah, I'm only giving them limits of teams of 3, because teams of 6 are too hard. I did that last time, though. Alright, next is Glimmer. Glimmer was quite hard, but I think I have her team alright. I give her Jigglypuff. I don't know what it is, I just think Jigglypuff would suit her. And then I give her Abra because, you know, she has teleportation powers. Abra has teleportation powers. It works out. And then lastly, I would give her Togepi. Again, the same with Jigglypuff. I just think it'd suit her. Like, I don't know what it is. By the way, in case you're wondering, I didn't do Angela because, you know, she's not really much of a character anyway. But yeah, I think that'd be Glimmer's team. I think it's a pretty good team for her, I'd say. Okay, next is Beau. I only gave him 2 Pokemon because, like, I just couldn't think of anything else. But I would give him Decidueye and Joltik. Decidueye because, you know, arrows, obviously. And Joltik might be a weird one to you, but I actually do think it would suit him. Like, he's into tech, and Joltik's a little electric bug. It just makes sense to me. Like, I think that's perfect. So, you know, if you can think of anything else for his 3rd Pokemon, let me know. But I actually do think that these 2 would suit him. But I wish I gave him a team of 3. It was so hard. Alright, next we're going to do Catra. Catra's one of my favorite characters. Not my most favorite. We'll get into that in a while. But Catra's team is really, really easy. I'd give her Alolan Persian, Liepard, and Glameow. I don't need to explain anything. Like, I'm actually not even going to go into detail because I don't need to explain anything here. So just let that sink in. Alright, next we're going to do the princesses. These are the last ones I'm going to do because like, there's just so many characters in She-Ra, and I didn't want to do them all. So we're going to start with my personal favorite of the princesses, Entrapta, who I recently learned has Asperger's, and oh my god, she's an actual really good representation of autistic people. So I think her name is Noelle, the creator of the show. Thank you for making her. But yeah, Entrapta was pretty easy. I gave her Mewtwo, Porygon, and Umbreon. I gave all the princesses evolutions. Mewtwo and Porygon because Entrapta's into science and building things anyway, and these are man-made Pokemon. So it just makes sense. And then Umbreon just because, you know, she has a bit of a dark side to her. Like, she would easily sacrifice her friends. So yeah, I think Umbreon would suit her the best out of all the evolutions. And you know, there are other Pokemon that are man-made as well, like Silvally, who I was going to give to her, but since I only wanted to give each character teams of at least 3, I got Umbreon over Silvally just because it suits her better, in my opinion. Okay, next we're going to do Marista. She's not my favorite of the princesses, but she has my favorite powers of the princesses, which are water powers. Her team is pretty easy as well. I would give her Primarina, Milotic, and Vaporeon. I don't need to explain Primarina that much, so I'll just skip to Milotic. Milotic's, you know, a really beautiful Pokemon, and it's from the ocean, or lakes, you know. It's basically the Loch Ness Monster. Sorry, Lapras. And I just think it would suit Marista a lot. I would have also done Seahawk, but he's my least favorite character in the whole show. He's so annoying. So yeah, I think, yeah, and then Vaporeon, because I'm going to give them all evolutions, and Vaporeon has a mermaid tail, and Marista has a mermaid tail, so it works out. So yeah, actually all these Pokemon have mermaid tails. Wow, I just realized that. So yeah, that would be Marista's team. I think that's perfect for her. Granted, she's kind of like, she's not a downer, but, you know, these Pokemon have hot, like, brighter personalities than she does. But all the gloomy water types wouldn't really suit her that well. So that's why I gave her these ones. Alright, next we'll do Frosta. Okay, I know before I just get into this, I know there's one Pokemon that would be really simple, and Jinx. I think you will understand why I wouldn't give Jinx to Frosta, because no one likes Jinx. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. So, I'd give Frosta Weavile, Snom, and Glaceon. Weavile because, you know, they kind of have the same personality when you think about it. Because, Frosta wants to be cool and like, beat people like, the other princesses do. And Weavile basically does that to other Pokemon. Snom, just because, you know, Snom's cute anyway, and I just think she would love having a Snom. Come on. Like, imagine her with a Snom. I'm doing it right now. It's adorable. And obviously Glaceon, because that's the Ice-type evolution, and she's the Ice Princess. Really, any of these characters would suit the evolutions, really. But yeah, that's just my picks. Alright, next is Perfuma. Perfuma has one of my favorite personalities in the whole show. I love how she's always trying to stay positive, yet somehow always ends up yelling at someone. I love that. Her team was pretty easy. I'd give her Roserade, Bellossom, and Leafeon. All these Pokemon have, like, nice summery personalities, just like Perfuma, so I think all of them would be perfect for her. Obviously, they're typings as well, but, because, you know, she has grass powers, but it's not just that. Because, like, some trainers in the Pokemon world, like, just say, I don't know, Agatha. She's a ghost-type trainer, and her Gengar suits her, but she also has poison types that suit her. So, it's not just their typings that makes them suit a Pokemon. Like, I was thinking of giving her Florges, and Florges isn't a grass type, but I just think these three would be better for her. Because they all have personalities similar to hers, and they all love life just like her. So, that's my picks for Perfuma. Alright, the last princess is Scorpio. Scorpio was a little tricky, because I could only really think of one Pokemon that would really suit her. But I have her whole team of 3. So she would have Drapion. Don't need to explain that. I think Mega Mawile, because, like, I know Mawile's a pretty different Pokemon from her, but, like, it looks a little tiny bit like her. Like, I know there's mouths, but the big mouths look like, her pincers. So I just think that would work. And then, this one's a bit of a stretch, but Jolteon, because, like, Scorpio is a princess, and she has electric powers, which, you know, I wasn't expecting. So I think that makes sense, since Jolteon's the electric type evolution. I know she doesn't really, like, look like she'd suit a Jolteon, but just for her powers and Jolteon's powers, that's the only reason I did that. But let me know if you could think of any better Pokemon for her. I also thought Espeon as her evolution, but I just couldn't. Okay, originally these were all the characters I was going to do, but I have to talk about this character, because they're my favorite character in the whole show, and I love them too much, so just think of them as a kind of honorable mention of sorts. So, we're going to talk about Double Trouble. Okay, before I get into their team, they are my favorite character in this whole show. I love their personality, I love their powers. I wish they were a princess, because that would have been really cool. Because, you know, the princesses are magic anyway, and Double Trouble's magic. Because, you know, they can shapeshift and change their voice. So, for Double Trouble's team, I think I would give them, wait. Here it is. I'd give them Zoroark, because they both shapeshift. That's pretty simple. I would also give them Inteleon, because Inteleon's a reptile, they're a reptile, it just makes sense. And then, lastly, I would give her Kecleon, because, you know, Double Trouble's based on a chameleon. Kecleon's based on a chameleon. It just works out. Although, Inteleon over Kecleon, because, come on, it just looks like it would suit them so much. Like, it even looks like them. Like, it's a perfect Pokemon for them. And I really, I just want them to have this team, because this team is just so perfect for them. And I literally couldn't think of any other Pokemon for Double Trouble except for these 3. And I will stop not ranting. fanboying over Double Trouble, because I could just make a whole video talking about how much I love them, but I'm not gonna do that because this is a Pokemon focused channel. So, sorry Double Trouble. I still love you. Well, that was my, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Pokemon teams. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you could think of a fourth Pokemon, or like fifth or sixth Pokemon they would have. And, you know, tell me if you like this show, because if you've seen it, then you'll know why I love the ending so much. So, that's where I'm gonna end it there. So, please like and subscribe, and remember, if you haven't seen She-Ra, give it a watch. And I'm Vivi, and I'll see you next time. Bye!